Welcome to a discussion on the second chapter of Flamingo of Class 12th English. The name of the chapter is Lost Spring, the stories of stolen childhood, written by Jung. On your screen, you can see two pictures. Note down the differences. The possible differences could be first, the title of picture 1 is Happy Spring and the title of picture 2 is Lost Spring. In the first picture, we find some happy children, whereas in the second picture, we find a child working. In the first picture, there are children who are playing and enjoying themselves, whereas in the second picture, we find a child who is a rag picker. In the first picture, the children seem to come from affluent families, whereas in the second picture, the child has to work for his livelihood and he is definitely poor. Now let us come to the title The Lost Spring. Why does the title speak of lost spring? What is lost spring? This is metaphorical, as spring is the best season of a year. Similarly, childhood is the best period of a human being. So, lost spring refers to lost childhood. Millions of children all over the world are forced into child labor because of grinding poverty. This story is a portrayal of the broken spirit of millions of working children who are condemned to a life of grueling toil and exploitation against the background of poverty. They have lost the moments of spring, the time of growth, happiness, and rejuvenation. They have lost their childhood and have turned adults before time. Instead of hands that can reach the stars, a child's hands become an economic tool to help out. The author is Jung. She was born in Rourkela and hails from an aristocratic family in Hyderabad. She is an Indian writer and a columnist. Jung writes with passion and concern, for she has met children whose life stories of despair must be told to others. In exposing a shame brought on by society, she hopes for more compassion by society. She reminds the readers of the onus of recapturing the spring that is lost from the lives of innumerable children. This story deals with the lives of two children. One is Sahib, a rag picker, and another is Mukesh, a bangle maker. The first story is about Sahib, and the title of the story is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in Garbage. The story is a first person narrative, as the opening sentence is, "Why do you do this?" The author asks Sahib, who is a rag picker, when she finds him digging in to the heaps of garbage near her neighborhood. Sahib does not pretend. He says he does this because I have nothing else to do. She asks why he does not go to school. Sahib again is very simple in his answer. He says that there is no school in the nearby area. The author then asks Sahib if she builds a school, whether Sahib would join the school or not. And when she says this, she understands that she is making a false promise. And she says, Promises like mine abound in every corner of his bleak world. This story is about Sahib. His name is Sahib Alam. But is he aware about the meaning of his name? Perhaps no. It is ironical that his name means Lord of the Universe, while he is condemned to the fate of scrounging garbage to earn a livelihood. However, Sahib neither knows the meaning of his name, nor would he choose to believe it if, if he were to know the meaning. Quite oblivious to the implication of his name, Sahib aimlessly wanders in the streets along with an army of barefoot boys who work from morning to noon. The author recognizes each one of the boys, and one day she asks them about these boys. Now she has come to know that Sahib has left his motherland looking for gold in the big city where he now lives. He now lives in Simapuri, Delhi. Sahib has migrated from Dhaka, Bangladesh, because his mother has told him that there were many storms that swept away their fields and homes, and in search of a better life, Sahib has migrated from his country. And now every morning he scrounges for gold in the garbage dumps. The question is, why do people migrate? Reasons could be various. First, to escape conflict zones, like what we find during any war, to escape poverty due to environmental reasons, in search of higher standard of living, or for higher educations. The author often finds these children not wearing any shoes. So she asks them, "Why aren't you wearing chappals?" A boy answers that his mother hadn't got them down from the shelf. Another one adds that even if his mother had got them down, he would have thrown them off. A third boy, who has never owned a pair of shoes, expresses the desire to own a pair. The author recalls that during her travels, she has seen many children in India walking barefoot, both in the cities and in villages. She is not convinced with the explanation that staying barefoot is not because of lack of money, but is a tradition. She wonders if it is an excuse to explain away the perpetual state of poverty. These boys lead the author to Simapuri. That is where they live. It is a place on the periphery of Delhi, yet miles away from it. What is the meaning of this? It is ironical that this place is so near to Delhi, yet miles away from it. Delhi is the center of power, affluence, development. On the contrary, Simapuri, which is very near to Delhi, is just the opposite. Here we find squatters who came from Bangladesh back in 1971. 10,000 rag pickers live in houses made of roofs of tin and tarpaulin, devoid of sewage or running water. Survival here means rag picking, and garbage is gold to them. In Simapuri, children are partners in survival. Both are rag pickers. Simapuri The residents, that is the squatters of Bangladesh, for them, food is more important. Survival is more important. To the rag pickers, food is of ultimate importance for survival rather than identity. When the author questions a group of women about their reasons for having left the beautiful land of green fields and flowers, they answer that they had to survive, and so wherever they found food, they pitched their tents. To survive in Simapuri, they had to resort to rag picking. For an elder, garbage means survival. For a child, it is wrapped in wonder. Why wonder? Because a child becomes happy when he finds something exciting, something unusual, like a 1 rupee coin or a 10 rupee note or maybe a silver coin. And there is always a hope of finding more. One day, the author gets to see another Sahib side to Sahib. He stands by a fenced gate overlooking a tennis court where two young men dressed in white were playing a game of tennis. He says that he likes the game. He acknowledges that he goes to the park to swing when no one is around. That day he was wearing the discarded shoes of a rich boy. Having walked barefoot, he values anything that he can get to wear in the name of shoes. However, he can never dream of being a tennis player. The author brings home to the reader that, like all other children their age, these rag pickers also have desires and dreams. But crushing poverty thwarts all their dreams. Finally, the author gets to see another phase of Sahib's life, wherein she notices him as a victim of child labor, walking towards the milk booth with a canister. The heavy canister is symbolic of the burden of responsibilities that come with the job at the tea stall. He is no longer independent. Although he gets a good remuneration, he seems to have lost the carefree look on his face. He doesn't seem happy working at the tea stall. His childhood has been stolen away. Sahib is no longer his own master. The bag full of garbage and the steel canister. The canister is a responsibility imposed upon him, whereas the garbage was a symbol of freedom. When he had the garbage bag, he was carefree and happy. And when he carried the canister, he is accountable to his master and is bound by the rules. When he was a rag picker, he was not accountable to anybody. But today, when he is working at the tea stall, he is compelled to follow the tea stall owner. As a rag picker, he was his own master. And now he has lost his innocence and robbed of his childhood. Finally, we can conclude that the steel canister belongs to the tea stall owner, whereas the garbage bag, though it was heavy, but it belonged to him. He was his own master then. A quick recap about Sahib Alam and Simapuri. Name is ironical. He isn't aware of its meaning. Young boy migrated with his family from the green fields of Dhaka in 1971. He was noticed by the writer digging for gold in the garbage dumps. Doesn't go to school, poor and works barefooted. Lives with many others in Simapuri who survive by rag picking. dreams of going to school and playing tennis, but finally ends working at a tea stall. And we find the condition of Simapuri as well here. Simapuri is a place where illegal residents live. They are uprooted from their own country. They live in perpetual state of poverty, is on the fringes of Delhi yet miles away from its glitter and affluence. It is ironical. There are structures of mud with roofs of tin and tarpaulin, no sewage, drainage, or running water, home for 10,000 ragpickers. They have lived here for more than 30 years without permit or identity. Garbage to them is gold. Now, some points to ponder on. Thank you.